Think you know Piccolo really well. You've seen him transform, but what if I told you there are Namekian forms and power levels you've never truly considered? We're diving deep into the Big Green's full potential, uncovering every evolution and every hidden capability he's ever hinted at here today. Stay tuned. So Piccolo's Namekian forms and true power, right? There's a full spectrum of depth of what can be explored, and I think fans in the Dragon Ball world have been wanting this in regards to Piccolo for a very long time. So let's go ahead and start from the beginning. The Forgotten Prodigy, right? Piccolo's early Namekian prowess. Initial reveal of Piccolo Jr.'s unique abilities as a reincarnated being, right? We had the analysis of his early fighting style, those unique transformations like the giant form and how it contrasted with other Z fighters. And this is especially back in the original Dragon Ball. That's why I always say, if you have not yet in your life watched the original Dragon Ball, I don't know what you're doing. This highlights really his raw power and potential and how it was overlooked by a lot of other villains early on in the series. I think that's why Dragon Ball is really instrumental in not just understanding that point in time of what was happening in the universe, but also just specifically, again, to compare those power levels when you look at different characters from our traditional Z fighters. So you eventually move forward to Dragon Ball Z, right? We have the androids arrive, then you have the unification, fusing with Nail and Kami. There's a deep dive into the momentous fusion with Nail, and obviously that happens in planet Namek, the fusion, but then we go forward to Kami coming in to essentially power as well with that combination because of the android's threat. This power surge and tactical advantages that Piccolo can tap into essentially at will if he has another nearby Namekian, that's pretty crucial in why he's been able to stay around for such a long time. We examine the profound, impact and effect of fusing with Kami, right? We focus on the mental and spiritual aspects that were awakened alongside the physical power upgrade that we saw Piccolo get from that. And then we can obviously discuss the differences in the power of the Kami Piccolo fusion compared, or I should say the Nail Piccolo fusion compared to the Kami Nail, I guess you can call that a fusion as well, right? It seemed like it was a little bit different in regards to what happened with Kami, but it's essentially the same thing, right? And how those battles played out even in the Cell games for Piccolo with that newfound strength. But let's fast forward even more into the future with the revealing of Orange Piccolo's debut, right? True unleashed potential. This transformation, visually really cool to see in the Dragon Ball Super superhero movie. The immense power and the boost that it gave Piccolo, allowing him to stand toe-to-toe with Cell Max and Gamma 2. That wasn't an easy feat, okay? For what it's worth, I think Cell Max is super lame, but he's really, really, really strong, hence why we needed what we needed to defeat him. And I also would have been interested to see how that fight would have played out if Goku and Vegeta were actually there alongside or Z fighters. So at this point, even despite what we saw in the Dragon Ball superhero movie with Piccolo's orange form and the giant transformation size he can always tap into sometimes with those type of specific power boosts, we're still speculating on the true limits of that form. I would dare to say that we didn't see Piccolo utilize that form at his truest ability because that was a desperation moment, right? Similar to Gohan's. Once they're able to tap into these at will, that's when you get the manifestation and the harvesting of power energy that allows our Z fighters, like we've seen with Goku and Vegeta over their time, to extract more power out of these newer transformations. So if we take all this into consideration, wrapping up here, we have this Sage of Namek, Piccolo's strategic brilliance and wisdom, which has helped the Z fighters get out of more situations than not, right? This has showcased Piccolo's evolution just beyond raw power. It's the fact that he is unparalleled in his tactical mind and his mentorship to Gohan and now Gohan's daughter Pan. This has been highlighted consistently throughout the series. There are instances where his strategies, these insights, turn the tide of the battles, even against superior opponents that the Z fighters would have been outclassed against otherwise, right? Very, very essential things that makes Piccolo more than just a power contributor to the Z fighters, you understand? So wrapping up as we come to this conclusion, what's next for Piccolo? Future Namekian King? I think we've explored fan theories on this channel for a couple years now, and there's always the idea that Piccolo could become a Namekian god. I've even talked about that myself, and I still think it's possible. Like, Piccolo is the exact type of character with the exact type of mindset that I think would be perfect for that role, and no one would have to bat an eye one way or another because Piccolo's going to do what's right and what's necessary to keep balance in the cosmos. So considering there are more fusions out there, could you imagine if Orange Piccolo is just really the beginning of his power. We have no idea. Piccolo could end up becoming a mainstay character of the series alongside the Saiyans, kind of like it was back in the beginning of Dragon Ball Z. I think people have pushed that idea and possibility so far out of their heads, but I don't think we should write it off. I think it's always possible, and if that ever happens in the manga or the anime, you can come back to this video one day and I'll be like, you know what? I talked about it, and I thought it was always possible. So feel free to let me know your thoughts here in the comment section below in regards to Piccolo and what you think his true power capabilities are at his highest. I think it's almost, I can't say infinite or limitless, but the Namekians have so many variables and attributes that really give them an unfair advantage to other fighters, which I think is why the Namekians are so cool. But at the same time, like, there could be a limit. I don't know if there's a limit. We've never seen Namekians train like Saiyans, and I think if Piccolo trained like Goku and Vegeta physically, I'm not sure there's a cap on that. He's kind of mentioned that, but that could have been retconned. I'm not sure. Feel free to let me know your thoughts. Comment section below. We'll take the conversation from there. Feel free to hit the like button if you found yourself enjoying anytime. Make sure to subscribe, guys, for daily and weekly Dragon Ball topics such as this. If you want to supply a comment topic that you would like my opinion on, feel free to do that in the comment section below. We'll go from there. Until next time, Kaioken Striker signing out. Hope you all have a great test today. We'll see you later. And